What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here in another video, and today I'm going to be doing my way too early quarterback rankings for the 2022 NFL Draft. Apologies about the echo, guys. It's going to be a problem for a little while, but I hope y'all stick with me, of course, because I'm wanting to do this for y'all. I know I'm not really getting compensated at all for this, and I don't do it for compensation, but obviously, you guys know that life definitely needs to have some form of compensation. So I hope that you guys do enjoy. If you guys are new, hit the subscribe button. Keep supporting me. Obviously, follow me and all the links down below. Do your thing. But I want to create some good content for y'all. I've been waiting to do this because I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I couldn't update this list and stuff. So let's jump in. Let's enjoy this, and then we'll be able to contrast it when we actually have our official 2022 draft rankings. So starting off with the number one guy, this is really hypothetical, but Sam Howell. So Sam Howell, he's losing his top four weapons, right? He's getting Ty Chandler back from Tennessee, but he is losing arguably the best running back duo we've seen in a while. So that's a bit of an issue, along with Daz Newsome and De'Ami Brown. So he's going to have to show what he has. And if he lights it up, he's a clear number one quarterback for me. Has a lot of issues with overthrows, some inaccuracy issues, but I think he can get past that. He does have some moments of real excellence. So Sam Howell, big potential. I think he's very Baker Mayfield-esque in that aspect. He seems like a fighter. Obviously doesn't have that mentality of Baker Mayfield, but he definitely plays very similar to him when he actually wants to. He can get into a rhythm, and he can be extremely accurate. And I think that that's his ceiling right now is Baker Mayfield, and I hope he reaches it. So right now I have a top 5 grade on him going to the Lions. Again, this is predicting that he's actually able to overcome roster issues. Another reason why I chose Baker Mayfield, because he played so well in his rookie year. Going to number 2, I got Spencer Rattler. A lot of people have him as their number 1. I don't, because I've seen a lot of really terrible mistakes with Spencer Rattler. He looks very thin, and I'm just not really that sold on Spencer Rattler. He couldn't start over Jalen Hurts, which is, they could have put Jalen Hurts in for seniority, but I'm going to be honest, I thought that Spencer Rattler was honestly not as good as Jalen Hurts when Jalen Hurts was the quarterback for Oklahoma. So I think that he has a lot of potential. He'll grow this year. Again, this is all speculation. I don't think any quarterback is worth a first-round pick today. I think they need to all prove something huge. Maybe Desmond Ritter, which we'll get to, but right now I have a top 10 grade on him. Going to the Eagles, who do like Oklahoma quarterbacks, obviously with Jalen Hurts. I think he has a much higher potential, and you can say like much higher, like really, Alex, it's like what, that big of a difference. That is a noticeable difference in potential. But again, that impact grade definitely hurts quite a bit. Don't really know who he is. Really don't. He's definitely more of a unique prospect that I haven't really seen too much of. Tried to look for other reports on him to see if they thought any comps, but not really yet. So going on to my number 3 guy, my guy with the highest ceiling in the class is Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. My high school quarterback. I love Matt. Personally, I know that he's a good guy to people who he wants to be, but obviously he can be a complete jackass if he also wants to be. So obviously Matt has some insane flexibility or some insane distance between his heights and his lows, right? His troughs and his peaks are certainly very, very far apart. And that's why you see a 500-yard game with 6 touchdowns and stuff like that, and also a game with like 200 yards and 6 interceptions. So if Matt builds on that consistency, I think he can be amazing. Again, I think he's on sale thanks to screen limitations. I had to put on sale, more mobile Peyton Manning. Like, I think that he has that potential. That's his ceiling right there. Like somebody who not afraid to throw that ball, somebody who can command a team, has the guts to throw any ball that he wants, and has a cannon for an arm. I'm a big fan of Matt. He could throw 50 yards easily just standing flat-footed without any sort of lower leg projection. Like he's facing straight on. Remember we posted a video about it. I think he's going to the Giants, a team that they kind of desperately need somebody who is willing to take chances with that wide receiver core, and I think he'd be an excellent fit for that. Big fan of my high school quarterback. Malik Willis is next. I'm a big fan of him as well. I've watched him a lot. I honestly think he could be Josh Allen. He probably is going to raise up these rankings. I'm going to be honest. I had a hard time not putting him at like 2 or even 1. So I know a lot of you guys like Malik Willis. I just watched some of his play, and he looks really good. Again, I want to see a little bit more from him. Again, he's going to Liberty, so that's why the impact grade's a little bit lower. He was a former Auburn recruit, but I want to see him raise this team up to almost playoff level, similar to what Desmond Ritter does with Cincinnati. Of course, Cincinnati has a loaded roster, but he's done a very good job with Liberty. I think that he can do it even better this year. Again, I didn't put an on sale Josh Allen. I'm saying a Josh Allen coming out. I think he's a little bit better in terms of decision making. And again, when people see Josh Allen, it's like that it comes with a little bit of a caveat in the fact that Josh Allen has transcended his game. So it's not current Josh Allen. It's maybe like last year's Josh Allen, not like 2020, maybe 2019. But he has a lot of potential. Next, we got Desmond Ritter out of Cincinnati. So obviously, I think he has the higher potential out of the majority of these guys. Older, he's going to be a super senior, and he's really good in the run game, has some moments of brilliance. I just don't think he has the best arm in the world, and he's not the fastest guy. He's just effective. And obviously, I don't look at the overall grades as like a way to rank them. That's definitely not something I do. It just falls into place like this. I don't really know who Desmond Ritter is. I feel like he could be like a worse version of Dak Prescott. That could be a good way to describe him. Just didn't want to give you guys some BS comps, but I think that Desmond Ritter is an excellent quarterback. I'd take him late first, maybe early second. I don't want to say that 5 quarterbacks are worth taking in the first again, but it's definitely not going to be in the top 15 like a lot of quarterbacks were this year. So definitely I would be putting him late first more than anything. And I think you go to the Broncos. Obviously, I didn't talk about Malik Willis going to Washington. I think that'd be a great fit. Definitely fits with that Taylor Heineke role. But the Broncos, Desmond Ritter, he's a high floor guy who has mobility. Definitely somebody who can transcend this roster, and he's carrying a really good roster. And going up against teams like Georgia who have to kick a last-minute field goal, Cincinnati gets exponentially worse recruits than Georgia does, and he's able to lift that roster up to that. Maybe it's not solely on his own, but he's a really good quarterback. Next, we got Kedon Slovis, where, you'll see the potential is higher than most of the other guys, but he definitely has some very high peaks and very low lows. And unfortunately, the very low lows are very stupid low lows. When I watched him play in the Pac-12 championship, this guy looked terrible. I wouldn't say 6th round grade. I think it might be a 7th, maybe UDFA. That's terrible. Obviously, there's flashes of Slovis, which are amazing. And there's a reason why USC was as high as it was in the rankings. But you really can't look at the peaks and just be like, that is that. I look at Matt Corral, and his issue is consistency. Slovis, it's processing in my eyes. I really don't think he has a great processor. His arm's not great either, but I'm not going to be the type where I say he's like a 3rd round type of dude. I'm similar to Trey Lance. I'm in the middle in Slovis between loving him and hating him. I'm more on the hate side, similar to Lance, but Lance was still a 1st round top 20 guy for me. Is a 2nd round grade on Kedon Slovis. It's nothing bad, and I think he worked really well at the Saints. That are probably looking for a guy where, again, similar to Jameis Winston, you might as well take a shot because you don't got much better. So next, we got Dillon Gabriel, whose picture is not popping up. We got to love that, guys. So I'm going to escape from this right now so you guys can actually see the work being done. Got to love this shit, man. But you got to love it. Technical difficulties are going to be a problem right now, but that's okay. We're going to continue. The show will go on. Of course, we're going to refresh it in hopes that it actually happens. But Dillon Gabriel, so he is really small. If you guys don't know, he's around 186 pounds. So that's a bit of an issue, right? That's a little bit of an issue. We're going to see if it pops up this time, which would be wonderful. By the way, this is where I do all of my work in Canva because it's a super easy, super nice platform for me to be able to use graphics for you guys because I just can't afford. And Macs can't really run those higher end processors. But Dillon Gabriel, he is somebody, again, very high highs, very low lows. Doesn't have the best arm strength, but has some beautiful deep balls. I think a team like the Steelers in the late 2nd might be like, listen, we need another lineman in here. We want another tackle. This tackle from Alabama just isn't worth starting right now. We got some guards who are getting older as well. Well, a guard in DeCastro. So, I think that should be the 1st round focus, is continuing to build that offensive line because, again, there are holes. But Dillon Gabriel, again, at his size, you're definitely going to have a good offensive line. And I don't really have a comp for him. I couldn't give him any of the other small guys. Just don't really want to mass produce it without having even deeper tape study on him. But I think a team like the Steelers might be willing to move off in a different direction just because of the potential talent. He has a beautiful deep ball, and that's exactly what the Steelers are looking for. Next, we got Grayson McCall, quarterback out of Coastal Carolina. Somebody who, I mean, I think that he is a Taylor Heineke. I hope to God I spelled that right. I have a weird feeling I didn't. But he's definitely somebody who I thought, like, I didn't want to say Ryan Tannehill because that just felt a little bit too rich. So Taylor Heineke, definitely somebody more mobile, has those flashes of greatness, can bring up a roster. But obviously, I don't know if Grayson McCall is going to be that great. I definitely thought I looked at Carson Strong, and I just did not like his tape at all. He was supposed to be the slot too. But Grayson McCall, I started looking at him. I'm like, wow, this guy knows how to run it. He has some good passes as well. So I think Grayson McCall is definitely a talented guy. I definitely like him. Next, solely for injury concerns, Cunningham. He's better in every single fashion than almost both of the guys before him. But I love Cunningham. I have a 4th-round grade on him. He will be a little bit older now. But I think that he is literally Lamar Jackson, but a bit worse in almost every category. He actually has better accuracy than Lamar. That's the funny thing. I think that he has like some moments, especially on his deep balls, with some excellent touch. And there's just some special talent to McHale. Some of the decisions he makes definitely needs to fix that. Anticipation problems needs to fix that. But overall, I think he does a really damn good job, guys. Injuries are just a big problem. He's a stick out there, and he can get leveled. So, a big fan of Cunningham. Again, I think he falls to the 4th. His talent is definitely worth a lot higher than that. Next, we got Brock Purdy to finish it off. Somebody who has potential. As I said, just say Jared Goff is his ceiling, but he just hasn't lived up to it. He had that one amazing year. I hope he bounces back, but we've already seen kind of that he wasn't able to keep consistent with it. If you guys see it, there are a long string of quarterbacks who are worth day 1, day 2 picks, and then early day 3. So I think that's excellent. I think the class is deep, just definitely not top heavy. Like, you could say, like, oh, well, Alex, like, look, you have 5 quarterbacks worth a 1st-round grade, including a guy who a lot of people put in. But there's a difference because I honestly think that the class is not nearly as good as the past 2. So it pushes them up. But Brock Purdy is definitely somebody where I think that it would be perfect as a bridge quarterback for the Falcons, where he's going to be able to pick up and learn from Matt Ryan and definitely be a solid guy. It's a day 3 pickup. And, like, you're having the Saints pick up Ian Book, for Christ's sakes. Like, you can pick up Brock Purdy in the 4th. So that's the video, guys. Obviously, bring up any dudes that you thought might have been snubbed or anything like that. Thought about the Kent State guy, Dustin Crum. He's pretty talented. Obviously, Carson Strong was in consideration, but didn't live up to the hype. So, again, this is actually a pretty good class. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.